Hello, people, and welcome back to week 10 of the FPE. I'm your coach, Radioactive Mayo, here once again. You already know what this is, and this week, week 10, we are up against the Texan Togepis, coached by Taxi. This is another extremely important week here. We're winding slowly towards the end of the regular season. Again, there's only 12 weeks in the regular season. This is week 10, and then we're looking at potentially making playoffs. So after a really nice win last week, we are up to 6-3 on the season is our record. So we are vying for a playoff spot. Right now, if the season ended today, we would be in the playoffs, but anything can change in the last 3 weeks. And the Texan Togepis over here are 5-4, so they are fighting for a potential playoff spot themselves. They are on the cusp of making it themselves, so this is a very important week between both of us. And it's going to be a close one, I can already tell you, because this team right here that we're up against, I think might be the scariest matchup we have faced all season against our team in particular, and let me tell you why. So, going down his team, we see Mega Mawile, Hydreigon, Alolan Ninetales, Tangrowth, Seismitoad, Alolan Marowak, Donphan, Crobat, Ribombee, Alolan Raichu, and Primeape. So 3 Alolan forms on this team, funny enough, but yeah. The biggest standout threat on this team is by far the Mega Mawile. If I can be honest with you guys, I've been stressing out all week over Mega Mawile. I literally think about it every day. I try to fall asleep at night, and it's just nothing but Mega Mawile. And then even when I'm asleep, I'll just be having a dream, and then every time I turn the corner, it's just Mega Mawile, and then I try to look away, and then I turn the corner again, and Mega Mawile's there again, and then I get hit by a sucker punch, and I wake up. All week, so I've been losing sleep all week over Mega Mawile. It's hard to think straight because of Mega Mawile. It's a serious problem. It really is. Yeah, basically Mega Mawile. Well, to begin with, Mega Mawile is probably one of the best Megas out of all the Mega Pokemon. There aren't really that many good answers to Mega Mawile, but my team in particular has no good answers to Mega Mawile. Okay, it has a stupid high attack stat because of its ability Huge Power, which doubles its attack. So it can one hit KO most of my team. Okay, and it has it's relatively slow. Luckily it's relatively slow at only 50 base speed, but it has Sucker Punch, which has priority, so it will go first. So yeah, our main way to deal with Mega Mawile is probably going to be to try to revenge kill it with things that resist Sucker Punch. Luckily, we have a few of those in Kommo-o and Crocodile, but other than that, Mega Mawile just kills almost everything, so it's ridiculous. And then, so yeah, Mega Mawile by itself, huge problem. Okay, but let's continue on with this team. Right beneath that, he has Hydreigon, which actually complements Mega Mawile really nicely offensively because it is a special attacker and it is much faster. And to go with Mega Mawile's Fairy Steel typing, Hydreigon is Dragon Dark, which just complements it very nicely. Hydreigon's also a huge problem versus my team. I'm not even gonna lie, because it can hit super effectively. Both Kommo-o and Jirachi with its stab moves. It can knock out Bayonet. We do have a Fairy type in Weezing, but our Fairy type is very defensive on the physical side, not very defensive on the specially defensive side, unfortunately. So it's gonna make Weezing a lot harder to deal with Hydreigon for sure. So that's a huge threat. Now, probably the most annoying part about his team is the next Pokemon, the Alolan Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales is scary because it sets up Aurora Veil. It's definitely the best Aurora Veil user in the game, and I think I've talked about this in weeks prior, but Aurora Veil is so good because you click Aurora Veil and then For like 5 turns, all incoming damage on your side of the field is halved. So if his Alolan Ninetales sets up Aurora Veil, which it can do very reliably, all of my damage is going to be halved. And that just like exponentially increases how scary Pokemon like Mega Mawile are, and Hydreigon, and like not to mention even more stuff like Alolan Marowak, Crobat. So we're gonna have to deal with Aurora Veil, and like if I'm being honest, this game might just come down to how well he plays his Ninetales and how well we deal with Aurora Veil. That might just be how this entire game is won or lost. So it's really important that we can deal with his Aurora Veil and however he decides to use it. So continuing along those lines, moving down his team, he does have a nice little defensive core with Tangrowth, Seismitoad, and Donphan, and also Alolan Marowak. These Pokemon are pretty bulky. He's got the Fire, Water, Grass core with Tangrowth, Seismitoad, and Marowak. 2 ground types with Seismitoad and Donphan. I'm interested to see like which ground type he decides to bring, if either. I'm honestly expecting Donphan over Seismitoad, just because it's a reliable rapid spinner, but we'll have to see. I don't exactly expect Tangrowth. Tangrowth doesn't really do too much for him versus my team. It doesn't add that much value in terms of like walling anything on my team really, but I do expect one of the ground types to come, probably Donphan, and I do definitely expect the Alolan Marowak to come. That thing is also a really strong physical attacker because of its unique item Fit Club, which also doubles its attack stat, similar to Mega Mawile. So that thing is also really hard for me to switch into. It's also really slow, just like Mega Mawile. But yeah, it also can run stuff like Lightning Rod, which makes it immune to electric types, which actually makes it a really good answer to our Rotom-Mow. So I honestly expect it to come. And yeah, if he gets it in safely, it's going to be really hard for us to switch into. And then a few things to round up his team, give him a lot of speed, are Crobat, Ribombee, Raichu, and Primeape. I'm honestly expecting Crobat. I think Crobat is actually really nice versus my team. It's faster than everything on my team, and my team does struggle a little bit with flying types, so Crobat can be a pretty good offensive flying type. It can also just be supportive with like Defog and stuff, so I would expect Crobat to come here. Not so much Ribombee. I don't expect Ribombee at all, but a Pokemon like Alolan Raichu, I could also definitely see him bringing in the Alolan Raichu because, you know, it can actually be a really good check to both Kommo-o and Gyarados. With a Choice Scarf, it can outspeed both of them even after a +1 and knock them out with Psychic and Thunderbolt respectively. So yeah, I think Alolan Raichu could be nice versus my team, although I do have the Crocodile, which is immune to both of its stab moves, but it can always run the Surf. So we'll have to see. And then there's Primeape, which you know, it has Defiant, which is cool, but like I'm not really too worried about it because we have a Weezing, and I don't really think it's too threatening versus my team. But yeah, the main things versus his team are managing Aurora Veil with the Alolan Ninetales. If we can eliminate Alolan Ninetales early on without Aurora Veil, that'd be great. And just finding a way to take out Mega Mawile. If I can eliminate Mega Mawile, I will rest easy tonight. And then yeah, other threats like Hydreigon and Marowak, we'll have to deal with them too. But let's just see what we're bringing here. So, starting things off here, we are bringing the Centiskorch. I think this is the first time we're bringing out Centiskorch since week 3 or 4. But I did wanted to bring Centiskorch this week because just being a bulkier fire type, it's kind of nice to deal with a lot of the bulkier things on Taxi's team. So we're bringing an Assault Vest variant with just 4 attacks: Fire Lash, Knockoff, Leech Life, and Power Whip. And we've got actually a lot of speed investment and max attack. So this speed investment here, hitting 219, is going to allow us to outspeed a max speed Mawile, as well as a max speed Alolan Marowak, because they both have the same base speed. And that's going to be really nice just to revenge kill both of those things. With the max attack Fire Lash, we're basically going to be able to knock out Mega Mawile every time. And Sucker Punch still does like 60 to 70%, but we can live it. So yeah, that's really good. But the main reason why I wanted to bring Scorch here is it smacks around his more defensive mons if he brings, like, depending on which ones he chooses to bring. I'm looking at Tangrowth, Seismitoad, and Donphan mostly. So against Tangrowth, we just put Fire Lash. That's easy. Against Donphan and Seismitoad, we have the Power Whip to hit those really hard. Power Whip will knock out Seismitoad every single time. Leech Life is also good for Hydreigon. Leech Life will nearly take out a Hydreigon, and with the Assault Vest boosting our special defense, we can take any hit from a Hydreigon, including a Draco Meteor. So this thing could be really good for Hydreigon. And on top of that, most importantly, this thing is our main answer to the Alolan Ninetales. Being a bulky fire type with Assault Vest, it's going to resist blizzards, it's going to resist moon blasts, and it's going to be able to smack Ninetales really hard with a Fire Lash. And Fire Lash is kind of nice, even for breaking through like an Aurora Veil, because it will always lower the target's defense stat. So that's just kind of help. That's just gonna kind of help nullify the Aurora Veil in the long run by just getting those defense drops and being able to continuously hit things. So Scorch is probably going to be my lead in this game, I envision, because it has a pretty good matchup versus most of his team at full HP. The only thing that I don't want to lead up against is the Crobat, but we have switch-ins to Crobat, luckily. But yeah, everything else, like, if this thing leads versus Ninetales, say, or even Hydreigon, like, we can just start clicking attacks and doing damage, and that's really good. This thing's going to be tricky for him to take out. We also have Flash Fire as an ability, so we'll be immune to a Flare Blitz from Alolan Marowak, so we could potentially switch into the Alolan Marowak and be immune to Flare Blitz, and we have Knockoff specifically to be able to deal huge damage to the Alolan Marowak, and knocking off its Thick Club will be fantastic for reducing its damage output. So yeah, this thing basically hits his entire team for super effective damage, barring like the Crobat and I guess the Primate, but clicking Fire Lash against those things is great too. So yeah, Scorch is looking really nice here. The Assault Vest is a boost in special defense. One thing to keep in mind is we don't have the heavy duty boots this week, so if he does set up the Stealth Rocks with something like Donphan, Seismitoad, or even Marowak, Scorch is going to lose 50% of its HP upon switch-in, so that's just something to keep in mind while we play, is making sure that we don't have to switch into Stealth Rock if we don't want to. Moving on, after that, we're bringing the Crocodile this week, and this is going to be a nice Rocky Helmet Intimidate variant. Pretty basic here, knock off Earthquake, Toxic, and Stealth Rock. This is just going to be a nice defensive pivot for some of the hard hitters on his team. This is basically our main answer to the Alolan Marowak, which is a huge threat. It also is another revenge kill opportunity for Mega Mawile. This is a great answer to Mega Mawile because, like I said, with this speed investment right here, even with no speed naturally, we just barely outspeed a max speed Mawile. Like 219 is all we needed, so Crocodile just hits 220, which is really nice. So we'll outspeed max speed Mawile, we'll outspeed max speed Marowak, both of those things, and we can revenge kill both of them with Earthquake. And Crocodile naturally resists Mega Mawile's Sucker Punch, so that won't do any damage. And the Rocky Helmet chip damage will ensure that Earthquake will knock out every single time bulky Mega Mawile. So that's really, really good for having this Pokemon as a reliable check to Mawile, and also the Alolan Marowak will help a lot, I guarantee it. And yeah, this thing does kind of invite Alolan Ninetales in, I'm not going to lie, but knocking it off is fine, and getting a Toxic off on like anything that might want to switch into this thing, like maybe Tangrowth, Donphan, Seismitoad, like If any one of those things are still alive, we can just toxic them, and that's great. And also just setting up Stealth Rock is really good. It's going to ensure just like residual chip damage on his team over time. It'll be really good for the Alolan Marowak, putting that thing in range of knockouts, and especially the Ninetales. So, and Crobat for sure. So yeah, that's basically it for Crocodile this week. The Intimidate is going to lower the attack upon switch in, so that's really good. Intimidate means we can switch into Alolan Marowak and survive even an Adamant Flare Blitz comfortably. This attack investment here just ensures that we can knock out a max HP Mega Mawile 100% of the time after Rocky Helmet chip damage. And we've got the rest in defense to be able to comfortably switch into Alolan Marowak. Yeah, this thing is also a really good answer to Crobat on top of that. Switching into Brave Bird, which could be annoying because of the Rocky Helmet and the Brave Bird recoil and the Intimidate. So yeah, that's basically it for Crocodile. Just allows me to more comfortably switch around some of the offense on his team. And next up, we are bringing the Weezing here. Weezing is going to have a pretty important role this week. So Weezings are only defogger this week, and like I said already, the Aurora Veil from Ninetales is going to be a huge threat. So this is going to be our only way that we have to remove the Aurora Veil if Ninetales sets it up with this defog here. So we're going to want to save Weezing until the opportune moment to potentially remove the Aurora Veil if we have to. But with the EVs here, I know it looks a little weird. It's on purpose. We'll be able to survive like anything on his team. So, and then we just have Strange Team and Flamethrower to hit stuff, and Pain Split to potentially heal back up. So, first off, neutralizing gas is going to be nice because it nullifies all of his abilities. So Mega Mawwile's huge power is no more. Still, we have to live an Iron Head from Mega Mawwile, which we can do with the Babiri Berry more comfortably. So neutralizing gas plus Babiri Berry lets us live Iron Head from Mega Mawwile, hit it with Flamethrower if we have to. If you're noticing a trend with this team, basically I tried to make every Pokemon on this team have a way to deal with Mega Mawwile. That was kind of the goal with this team. So, yeah. And then, so the EVs are kind of weird here. We're running a bold nature with plus defense, but we're also just putting all of the EVs into special defense. The reason why we do that is because I want this Weezing to be specially defensive to deal with Hydreigon. But I still need defense investment to comfortably live Iron Head plus Sucker Punch from Mawile. So, we just run a plus defense nature. So the way, this is a little lesson for you, the way natures work is you will get more stats, you'll get like more stat output from your nature if you make your positive nature the whichever base stat is naturally higher, if that makes sense. So because Weezing's defense stat is naturally so high at 120, we get more stats out of running a bold Weezing instead of, like, if, for example, we were to do, like, specially defensive, like, we would get less stat output out of it. If, like, we were to do something like this, like, something weird like that, like, we wouldn't get as much stats out of it. So we want to maximize just, like, what or how high our stats can be. So we need just enough defense to comfortably live the Iron Head, which this does give us. And we're just going to throw the rest in special defense, because this is going to allow us to deal with Hydreigon if we have to. The Babiri Berry can also allow us to live a Flash Cannon from Hydreigon, and Strange Steam will always knock out Hydreigon, which is really nice. So that's good. So yeah, but Weezing's main role this week is to defog when the time is right. Okay, that's basically it for Weezing. And then moving on, we've got Mega Bayonet. Mega Bayonet's looking good here because so much offense on this team. Aurora Veil might make it really hard to kill things, so having Destiny Bond can be really, really nice because honestly, Destiny Bond is looking like one of my main answers for eliminating Mega Mawile. Yeah, so obviously Mega Bayonet's Destiny Bond will always go first because of Prankster. So we can Destiny Bond in the face of Mega Mawile. Even if like a Sucker Punch fails, we can attack the following turn, or no, we can substitute the following turn, and we can play the substitute Destiny Bond game versus Mega Mawile between Sucker Punch and Ironhead. It might be a little weird, it might be a little 50-50, but I'm pretty sure we can eliminate Mega Mawile with Destiny Bond if we have to, if we absolutely have to. On top of that, we just have Shadow Claw and Shadow Sneak. This is also a really good way for revenge killing the Alolan Marowak, because we can just bring in Bayonet and click Shadow Claw. Alolan Marowak does not learn Shadow Sneak, fortunately. Shadow Sneak's also good for just picking off weakened things, like if Ninetales is weak, we can pick that off. If he brings Alolan Raichu, Shadow Sneak is a really good way to eliminate that, as well as Crobat. So, yeah, Bayonet could definitely come in handy here, and I think getting an opportune Destiny Bond off can definitely help us win this game in the late game for sure. So that's just the idea there, is just having the sub Destiny Bond to help play around Mega Mawile a little bit, and also Hydreigon. Like I could see myself Destiny Bonding Hydreigon if I had to. So yeah, Max Attack is just going to maximize damage output from Shadow Claw and Shadow Sneak. Pretty straightforward. Moving on, we're bringing Jirachi, of course, and we got a Choice Scarf variant this week. So that's going to allow us to outspeed basically his entire team, which is really, really nice. Boosting our speed. The only thing that he could bring that would outspeed Jirachi would be like a potentially Choice Scarfed Raichu, which he could definitely bring. Or like a Choice Scarf Primeape, or even like a Choice Scarf Crobat, but I don't think Choice Scarf Crobat is likely. So yeah, and Choice Scarf Ninetales, but that doesn't make sense. But this thing will outspeed a Choice Scarf Hydreigon. And yeah, we just got Ironhead, U-Turn, Zen Headbutt, and then Healing Wish. So yeah, Ironhead is like, this is a good revenge kill option for Alolan Ninetales, first of all, because we'll outspeed it and we can just knock it out with Ironhead, which is really good. We could potentially flinch it, prevent it from setting up Aurora Veil, which is also really good. And just, yeah, flinching stuff with Ironhead is really good here. Like, straight up, like, potentially flinching Hydreigon is a good way we could remove it. And yeah, Zen Headbutt is mainly to hit Crobat. We can outspeed and knock out Crobat with Zen Headbutt. And yeah, just U-turning around his team can be really nice. And then lastly, we've got the Healing Wish, because we can potentially use the Healing Wish late game. Like, I think we did it in week 3, I think it was. We can use the Healing Wish late game to get some momentum and, you know, bring in something that could potentially win us the game. So yeah, Jirachi is just going to provide some Choice Scarf utility. We need some immediate speed. Immediate speed is always necessary. So just something that we can bring that's faster than Crobat, faster than Ninetales, and can knock them out. That's all we really want. This is the one thing on our team that we have that cannot deal with Mega Mawile, though, because it just dies to Sucker Punch. Like, Jirachi just dies to Sucker Punch. So if Mega Mawile is in on Jirachi, we have no choice but to switch out, which could be really difficult. But we'll have to just play smart with Jirachi, which we can definitely do. So let's move on. Last but certainly not least, we've got your boy Como-O here. Now I've got an exciting new Como-O set to bring for y'all. This is a new one. So we're bringing Autotomize Throat Spray Como-O. This is going to be our win condition. I am planning to win the game, late game, with Como-O by clicking Autotomize, and basically what Autotomize does is it doubles my speed. So after we click Autotomize, we will outspeed everything on his team, and we will kill everything. That's the plan. Late game. So This is enough speed investment here. So after an Autotomize, we will outspeed a Choice Scarfed Alolan Raichu. That is what that speed is for. The only thing that could possibly outspeed Como-O after an Autotomize is a Choice Scarfed Crobat, but I think that's highly unlikely. It hardly makes any sense. And then we're running Throat Spray. So Throat Spray is going to boost our special attack by 1.5 times after we use a sound-based move. We have 2 sound-based moves here in Boom Burst and Clanging Scales. So the plan is to, late game, bring this thing in on, something safe, something that we can, live any hit from, or even like after a Healing Wish. Bring this thing in, click Autotomize. After we click Autotomize, we're going to click either Boom Burst or Clanging Scales, depending on what is alive on his team. He does have 3 fairy types on his team, in Mawile, Ribombee, and Ninetales. But all 3 of his fairy types are weak to fire, which is great. So we have Flamethrower to hit all 3 fairy types. And basically, we click either Clanging Scales or Boom Burst, depending on like what on his team is still alive. The only thing on his team immune to Boom Burst is the Alolan Marowak, but if he's got fairy types left, we might not be able to click Clanging Scales. But basically, immediately after we click Autotomize, we want to get our Throat Spray boost, so we're going to click either Clanging Scales or Boom Burst and potentially take something out. And then at that point, we should just win, because +1 Flamethrower will always take out stuff like Mega Mawile, Tangrowth, either Ribombee or Ninetales. +1 Clanging Scales just like kills nearly everything on his team. Like he doesn't have like everything else aside from his fairy types like dies to +1 Clanging Scales, which is cool. So we've got the speed to be able to outspeed everything, and then we just click Clanging Scales and we win. That's the plan. Okay, the plan is to click Autotomize late game, win with Como-O. Yeah, I think this is going to be a tough week. I expect this game to be very fast-paced and offensive. I think it's going to be, something like we trade Pokemon for Pokemon, left and right. It's going to be kill for kill, and we got to play it smart. Play really smart around the Aurora Veil with the Defog Wheezing, play really smart with the Destiny Bond, and make a Bayonet. I've made the mistake a couple weeks in the past. I know I almost did it last week. I did do it a couple weeks, like toward the beginning of the season, but I threw away Mega Bayonet when I shouldn't have, so playing really smart here with Mega Bayonet is going to be imperative, and getting value out of Centiskorch and Crocodile is also going to be imperative, so yeah, that's basically the plan this week. So go over and watch our Week 10 battle. Go check it out. And thanks for watching, and go check out our Week 10 battle, and I hope we make playoffs. That's it. Peace.